Hi, this is the Eric Schleien podcast, a space free of bullshit personal development platitudes where I break down ontological principles and distinctions to help you enhance the areas of life that matter to you. And I have my partner, Kyra King, on. What's going on?
Not much. We just had a great conversation and
Dude, that guy was
having a good
awesome.
day.
That guy was awesome.
Yeah.
I got to get him on the show. We'll do an episode with him. So I was thinking, I had this insight today, or not today, but had it while I was on the phone with you, and I was like, shit, we need to make a podcast out of this. So with triadic relationships, kind of the way, just to recap, the way that I would get in the way of myself is, where my, identity and my ego starts to try to strategize around things. But, it's very, very good when it comes to, being enrolling and strategizing and doing business stuff. So, I can use it for my advantage, or it can use me and fuck me over. But one of the ways I see it to my advantage, and I think it'd be helpful to a lot of people and you, is I see that there's sort of this like chess-like dynamic to triadic relationships. So for instance, the guy we had this conversation with today, like super powerful, very like no resistance to being able to, connect with people. And you could clearly see he was stabilizing our relationship and grounding us in values through the communication. Even though he didn't have the words for it, like he's doing that. And I'm sure, I would imagine there's something that he's, explore for himself around relationships. So, but there's sort of these like different levels, right? So it's like, okay, I can see who I can connect with. And then the next level would be, if I make this connection, then I could build a triad here. And then if that triad is stabilized, then I could build another triad. And I can, visually like sort that all out. So that's kind of cool because if you want to get to person X, right, and have a conversation with person X, but there's no authentic access to do that. And you can't just like call them and say, hey, or you should check this thing out. But you do know that if I have person Y and Z in a triad with me, and then person Z connects to person B, and person B connects to person G, and person G, if you had a triad with person G, U, and Z, then that conversation could then appear. So I was thinking about that today, that you could almost have this chess-like dynamic, because I was thinking about all these connections I could make, but it would require you first for you to make those connections to then be able to have another conversation or even a third level of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's coming to me right now too, as you say that, is that when people start connecting other people, sometimes it's a little like hard to get in the practice of doing that. But I feel like as you keep doing that and then you connect these other people who you've connected with, it just becomes more and more organic and easy to do that. So it's almost like you have to get past that, like just getting in the practice of triading, and then you can just see how things just unfold and people start connecting, and then this person knows this person, and they all know you, and then it's a tribe. It's awesome.
Yeah, well, it's like your grandfather says, right? Play the game, then learn the rules. And most people want to learn the rules and then play the game. And you can never get triading without actually first triading.
Yeah.
But I think that's the predicament people get in, is they intellectually get it, and then they want to figure it out before they do it because they don't want it to feel forced. But I think you kind of have to get through the feeling forced aspect to then sort of course correct so it feels not forced anymore.
Right. And even with somebody who, is not transactional necessarily, I think we're just so used to people being transactional that we're like, okay, so what's on the agenda for today? And you're really like,
shoot me. Yeah.
No, and you're really like, no, there's absolutely no agenda. Like, I really just thought you guys were both cool people and would actually enjoy getting to know one another. And, it's really, I think, like, it was appreciated by this person. I think for some people it's super weird and they might even reject that a little bit. But, just like,
I don't know. My experience, most people, even people who are transactional, I think most of the time appreciate it when you're not giving it back to them.
Yeah.
Like even if someone's like, so, what did you want to discuss today? How could I support you? And then it's like, really isn't. I just think it's great to connect great people with each other. And maybe there's some synergies for things to unfold in the future. That's so relieving for people, I think, generally. I mean, sure, there's some people who are going to think it's weird, but like,
Generally, I'm just
Generally,
saying
I think people are
maybe
really
some people aren't like used to it, so they could just say like, well, they might not know how to not be that way. Like, well, what are we talking about? Like what? And then, you know, but it's getting into that practice of just being like personal with people and talking about whatever and seeing where those values align.
Yeah, well, that goes back to the distinction that your communication is not just what you say to others, but what others say to you and others say to others in your space. So if someone is going in a whole is generating what are you talking about, that's on you that you didn't provide the space where they're like completely confused. That's how I see it.
Right.
So what do you think about the whole chess analogy?
Yeah, I mean, I've never played chess, but
well, I suck at chess, but I think like the whole thing of like a good chess player, like if I play chess, I'm like, okay, where am I gonna go? Where like I've played professional chess players before just to fuck around. Like when I was in high school, I went to high school with this kid who was like already ranked, and so we used to play him at lunch just to like enjoy losing. It was like the most fun game to lose because you would lose in like 6 turns, and I would like put my rook somewhere, and I would say. Hey, so how would you beat me? He's like, well, by doing this, I can beat you in 6 moves. And I was like, well, what if I do here? I could beat you in 18 moves. What about here? 3 moves. That's like how, and he just figured it out in his head like that. So he could see like 15, I don't know about 15, but it was over 5. It was like maybe 8 or 10 moves ahead he could see like that.
Wow. Yeah.
So like what I want to get with triads is to be able to get to a point where I can talk to you, but I can see 10 steps ahead. That's some fucking cool shit. My mind's gonna start having triangles. I'm just gonna start seeing everything in these triangles. I kind of do that already in some aspect, but like I want to get like Matrix style, like crazy. Like I look at you, but there's triangles like all around you. Some people can see auras. I could see all the triads around you that haven't been created, but I can create
like them. A spider web of triangles.
I'm just picturing that as like a movie right now, where like someone who's like a Triadic superhero and like talks to you, but then with his special glasses, he sees like 19,000 different people around you, or something crazy like that.
Maybe one day we'll make a movie about a Triadic superhero.
Maybe you can do that. There's nothing in my mission around that, but maybe a game of chess, and you're going to connect me to some people to then enroll me 9 steps ahead. So
I'm 1 step away from I probably know people who could make that movie right now.
Probably, yeah. So anyway, I was thinking though, like, because this guy, he does all of his healing, right? And he works, he has a team of doctors and psychologists. So all you have to do, find someone who's a doctor, a little skeptical, have a relationship with them, introduce them to this guy, but in the context of you, and all of a sudden it dissipates a lot of the weirdness. Where if you just were to tell that person directly, it would be weird and they wouldn't take you seriously.
Right.
Or they would nod their head and be nice to you and then think that it's bullshit.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's all I had to say about that. I thought it was kind of interesting.
No, I like it.
Yeah,
I like
cool.
the chess analogy.
Me too. All right, what are you doing the rest of the day?
A couple more calls.
Yeah.
Yeah, kids.
Nice. Alrighty. Well, I will talk to you later, Kyra.
Okay. Bye.
All right. I'll see you.